Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Brian. And I've got some hopeful news for some of us sci-fi nerds out there. John Carter's rights have now left Disney and have reverted back to Edgar Rice Burroughs' estate. Now, what does this mean? That means Disney can't make another John Carter movie, but someone else can. Now, a lot of people went and saw the 2012 movie, and it got a lot of mixed reviews, and I think it's understandable. John Carter is about 10, 11 books if you count the collection of short stories at the end. But it is a great story, to sum it up. A Civil War, I think he's a colonel, something like that. He wasn't a general, but John Connor gets accidentally sent to Mars. And I honestly, it's been a while since I've seen the movie or the books. I don't remember. But he gets sent to Mars, and he finds himself in basically another civil war that is taking place between two races on Mars. There's a lot of parallels that were written into that for the American Civil War, but it was also primarily driven as a sci-fi adventure series. Now, 10 books, that's a lot. And some people are like, oh, well, why hasn't it been done? Well, I mean, really, it couldn't have been done well till probably 2012 because the aliens had multiple arms. One of the Martian races have multiple arms and things like that. And it's just kind of, visually speaking, it wouldn't have done very well until we had more technology, more CGI get up to Burroughs' image of that he was trying to create. So, and I think this is a good thing. And people forget that Burroughs was a prolific writer and a very talented writer. And people are like, well, what else did he write? Oh, Tarzan? Yeah, that's one thing I always felt weird about. We've gotten, what, a dozen Tarzan movies, and it's all exactly the same as the first one. He wrote 25 Tarzan novels. 25. And we've only ever gotten the origin story. Ever. In live action or animated, we've only gotten the origin story. And that's, to me, that feels like just a slap in the face. There's so much material. There's so much we could be done with Tarzan. And he was writing John Carter and Tarzan at the same time. So here comes February, Tarzan novel. Here comes June, August, September, somewhere around there. Here comes a John Carter movie. And this proceeded for about 4 or 5 years, and he kind of slowed down a little bit because of the fame and popularity. The writing slowed down, but he still continued to write continuously among other various stories, various. Uh, I think that he had one or two more series under his belt that aren't as popular, but Tarzan and John Carter are the two most recognizable ones. And I think John Carter, the movie itself was good. Now, I'm a fan. I think I've read the first two novels back in high school. And yeah, that was quite a bit ago. I won't say how many decades, but it was quite a bit ago. And they're good. They're really good. They're really engaging. I remember I finished the second one over a weekend. Like, I just kind of started it and finished it before I went to church on Sunday. So I I really like the novels, and there's so much just allegory. There's so much good sci-fi built into it that it's just, whether you just completely negate all the references and allegory of the Civil War in John Carter, you still have an amazing sci-fi story of someone thrust into an impossible situation, trying to navigate it, and continually trying to survive and live on Mars with warring races. It's it's a good basis, your good standard hero being trained and brought up and finding out who he is. It's just a good hero mythos story. And the fact that we've only gotten one since 1912, I think it's when it got. It's been out for over 100 years, and we've only gotten one adaptation of it. And that's because it is hard to do it until now. I mean, we probably could have pulled it off in the 90s. We're good at that. But now that we've got Disney losing the rights, we've got a chance for really, really hitting this series hard. And this is what we need. We need a new, fresh series. Take a look at the 2024 lineup of movies. About 80% of them are sequels or spin-offs. 80%. Go look it up if you don't believe me. I mean, basically anything Disney's putting out this year is a sequel or a spin-off. And even Illuminations, got Despicable Me 4 coming. We had Ghostbusters and Kung Fu Panda 4. And, I mean, it's just more and more and more of the same. And they're like, oh, people aren't coming to the box office anymore. Oh, well, what did they go see so far this year? Dune Part 2 and Godzilla versus Kong. I forget the tag of the sequel. But, yeah, those are the two big movies. You know what? New series, new ideas, something new, something we haven't seen a million times. And John Carter could be another one that we can just take hold of and just embrace and love the sci-fi fantasy, the romance in it. It's got everything. And the same thing is now that this is coming back to the Burroughs estate, let's get Tarzan going again. Let's make sure they have it and get between those two series, we have over 30 books of material. Let's do it. Let's get something we hadn't seen before. Yeah, not many people know John Carter, but everybody knows Tarzan. I mean, seriously, we could do some awesome stuff with Tarzan. I mean, I don't know what's in all 25 books, but I guarantee you, we've only seen about 10% of it on screen, on the big screen, on the small screen, 10%. That's about all we've ever seen. So I'm happy that Disney is letting these rights fall back to the Burroughs estate, and I'm hopeful that someone somewhere picks it up, licenses it, and gets us a true John Carter universe that we rightfully deserve, because sci-fi fans since the 1912s have been asking for it. I mean, come on. Sci-fi from 1912. And yes, you could add some science. Oh, well, he couldn't breathe on Mars, blah, 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 blah. He kind of addresses a little bit of it in the first book. But we can fix that. We can make a few lines of dialogue and a few little things to fix that. Plus, it's also fiction. Doesn't have to be real. So, I mean, come on. This is a series that just never got the love it deserved. And I am super excited that hopefully within the near future we get a true John Carpenter universe of all the books in the series. So let me know. What do you think? Would you go see a John Carpenter series that has a plan to adapt more than just the one book, so it doesn't come off like it's doing a reboot? That's what we want to avoid. We hate that stigma. We don't like it because every time it's a quote-unquote reboot, we get massive, terrible movies. Just like we've got another Matrix movie, another Jurassic Park movie. I mean, it's just on and on and on. Of all the reboots and all this other stuff, they're failing, but they keep putting them out. And we just want something new. John Carpenter fits that bill. Tarzan fits that bill. Let's do it, Hollywood. Just stop doing what you've been doing the last 2 decades. Think about how it worked for the last 100 years prior to that, and let's attack it. Let's get at it, and let's have some fun, okay? Because that's where we want to go. We want to go to the movies and have fun. We don't want to be preached to. We want to have fun. Yes, we do. We really do. I'm excited about a John Carpenter movie. Literally, if they took the exact same cast and skipped to like the sixth or seventh book, wouldn't care. I'd go see it. I saw this one in theaters, loved it. I would say my expectations of what I thought it would be didn't quite make it. I wouldn't say it was a phenomenal movie. It wasn't the best. I would say solid 8 out of 10. It's a solid 8 out of 10. It doesn't make my top 10 list of favorite movies of all time, but it's definitely one I've watched multiple times and actually still have a physical copy of it. So, I mean, if I kept a physical copy of it, it means I really like the movie. And I really like this movie. Even though it's a Disney product, it's still a great movie. So, I'm hoping for it. What other sci-fi series do you love that never got the proper treatment on the big screen or the small screen do you think we should look at next? Let me know down below because I'd love to dive into some new books, some new material I haven't touched before. Let me know what you think. Until next time, my friends, as always, 100%, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.